हमारे साथ हैं स्वामी पूर्ण चैतन्य जी। यस। सो राष्ट्रीय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर योगा मेडिटेशन सीखकर खुद हजारों लोगों को सिखा रहे हैं और मंत्र जप का भी पठन का शिक्षा दे रहे हैं। हम भी उनमें से हजारों में से एक है जिनको ये सौभाग्य मिला है स्वामी जी से सीखने के लिए। और we are all here waiting eagerly to hear from you, Swamiji, in the series of wisdom and satsang on surrender, Samarpan.
Jai Gurudev. It will be nice if everyone can turn on their camera, कि आपका भी दर्शन हो जाए. It would be a good manners, no? You can see me also, so at least I can see you as well. And you'll have to tell me whether you prefer English or Hindi, because दोनों भाषा में तो मुश्किल होगा, no? It will take a lot of time. So what do you prefer?
English is okay, Swamiji.
English is okay? Chalega? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Lovely. Oh, Ankita is happily showing my book. So nice. Yeah. Everybody knows, no? I wrote a book or no? Actually, the problem is still online, no? Many people don't know. Okay, I can also show you. She's happily showing. So this is a book I just wrote. It's, I don't know if you can see. Nice cover. I mean, I didn't just wrote. I wrote it last year when I was in the lockdown, no? Talking about surrender. No, we have all been surrendered. We don't have a choice. So I was in South Africa. Gurudev had sent me to Africa to prepare for his visit, his first visit to West Africa, to Ghana, Nigeria, these places. And after he sent me, just 2-3 weeks later, suddenly everything started shutting down. So then India also closed their borders. And then he told me that, no, you be in Africa. I said, maybe should I go to Europe instead? He said, no, you be there. And then, yeah, I spent 1 year in Africa. I mean, I've been there before, but in the lockdown. So that time, one day there was a meeting also with all the full-time teachers with Gurudev. We had a refresher session. And during that time also, Gurudev was telling us, he said, no, you have so many skills, or you can increase your skills. So those you want to learn cooking, you can start cooking. And no, if you're a good singer, or if you can write poetry, and those who can write, you can write a book. So I think that was his intention, Sankalpa. And then just around it, little before that, I was contacted by Penguin, the biggest publisher we have in India, around the world actually. And they asked if you can write a book. So we all know what a difficult time it was. And still it is, many people are struggling. And we had those live meditations, with Gurudev. वो रोज होता था YouTube में, twice a day. And for so many people, I personally know this was really a lifesaver. Like it was just to get through the day, because so much of challenges. And Gurudev used to keep telling us that, you see, we have to share this knowledge of meditation with more and more people. So then when he said we should write a book, and then Penguin asked me, they said, can you write a book to introduce people to meditation? Maybe. They've seen my website and all, they know about Art of Living. So they said, maybe very nice, many people may connect. So I checked, and with Gurudev's blessings, somehow very effortlessly, just within few months, morning, evening, Torah Samay Nikal ke, that book happened. And then I sent to Penguin, they loved it. And then they said, okay, we'll release it on Yoga Day, International Day of Yoga. So the only thing is, of course, abhi bhi lockdown hai, no? So yahan pe bhi I had asked Gurudev, can we is there any program you are doing? We can launch it. But there was no program, no? Even long time, he was not even visible. So then some of you may have seen that picture on my social media, like in the car, because Gurudev used to start doing one round in ashram just to meet everyone. So no darshan and all was happening. So on the road, we launched the book. I brought it, main leke aaye, because usi din pe launch hone wala tha na, it was going to be released. So I didn't want to wait that maybe after 1 month we can do. Let his blessings be there. I mean, anyway, it's there. But yeah, so it's come out really nicely. Even our Art of Living teachers, those who have read, were telling me that, Swamiji, it's so nice. We're getting a lot of ideas for intro talks or the way it's summed up. So that last 20 years of experience with Gurudev conducting these programs, like sometimes you would have noticed, no, in between he'll say one line that really hits home, and you're like, "Arey yaar, how does he do it?" No, like he'll capture so much in just one line. Same way, so many of us, we may have been meditating, but sometimes it's not so easy, no? Man itna shaan nahi hota, yeah, how to be regular. You're supposed to do, kaise kare. So in that book, we have put all that together. That one is, okay, for those who want to start a meditation practice, how to go about it. And for those who are already practicing, there are so many tips, my personal experiences, some stories, and things I've learned from Gurudev over all these years. So yeah, so but still many people, of course, don't know because we don't have programs. I'm not traveling also. So maybe this is one small thing. Can you help me with that? आप लोग कर सकते ना, थोड़ा सा आसपास वाले को, whoever is there nearby, you can share with them. Maybe later I can share one link. Just make them aware, no, there is a book like this, because even we've had people already who read the book, then they came for a course. No? कहीं ना कहीं से उनको तो मिला था. So now that we are going on to state of surrender, but it's so nice to see, now already some session somewhere I'm going, you will find 1 or 2 people, like Ankita here, they'll show me the book. Let's see, Swamiji, we got it. I'll share the name. It's called Looking Inward, Meditating to Survive in a Changing World. So maybe today, for those who would like, definitely check it out. And it's available on Amazon, Flipkart and all. So if you'd like, this can be a beautiful seva. You can order 1 copy, or if you want to get a few copies to gift to some of your near and dear ones, and you can spread the word. Maybe if you have, no, aapka jaise wahan ka kuch WhatsApp group hai, or you can share. There's a few videos also on my social media. But before Guru Purnima, just before, no, I had a chance to meet Gurudev. He had called all of us, the Swamijis, Brahmacharis, who were there in the ashram. So then we came there. He wanted to share a few things, some plans he has for us also. And then first thing he asked me, he said, "How is the book going?" So I said, "Yeah, Gurudev, it's going good." I said, "Just because it's online, we have to find out how to spread the word and all." But he was so happy. And then Guru Purnima, did you watch webcast Gurudev ke saath? So after the knowledge sheets, they have revamped. New edition has come out. Gurudev is coming to come soon, end of this month. And then after that, did you notice he was saying, and some of our teachers, senior teachers, they have written such nice books, meditation, this and that. And so I was like, dil to ekdam. So very sweetly, skillfully he was promoting the book. But it's come out really beautifully. First, I was a little shy to promote it because like we write it with all good intention, but pata nahi if it is useful for people, unko kaise lagega. But so many people now have been telling us, Swamiji, it's so nice. We're also sharing with our friends, and so abhi thora himmat bar gaya. Like, okay, I can at least mention it. And those of us who have done the advanced course, the silence program, this is also something that Gurudev says. He says, surrender is actually something that gives you a lot of strength. Usually we feel surrender means like when you feel very weak and you can't do anything, that is when you surrender. But it's contradictory in a way, because when does surrender happen? When you realize that I can only do so much. Itna hi kar sakte, no? There is a higher power. There is something that is more powerful than me or someone. And you have that sense of belongingness, or you feel that connection where you say, okay, I surrender. So this is not the surrender where, someone puts a sword on your throat and say, okay, now fight is over, you give up. Surrender is recognizing that, okay, yes, I have my limitation. And then, but you realize, no, but there is someone or something that is beyond that limitation. So if you see in the Bhagavad Gita also, initially, Arjuna thinks he has a lot of knowledge and Krishna is his friend, his well-wisher, but he hasn't yet really surrendered to him in that way, consciously. So then initially also, for those of us who've read Bhagavad Gita a little bit or listened to Gurudev's commentary, or initially, Krishna tells Arjuna also that, what you think you are so great, that you know so much, oh, come on, don't be such a fool. Because, see, Arjuna really thought he was right. He said, okay, yes, initially what Josh mein aake, okay, you have to go to war. So battle starts, all the, unhone bhi shank bajaya. He was ready for battle. And wo Josh mein aake, sometimes Gurudev also says, hosh kho jata hai. It's not always the case, but tends to happen if you really get super enthusiastic. Like with small kids, have you seen? When they get really excited, kya hota hai? They keep, they start jumping up and down, doing so. They cannot sit still. And then what happens is, sooner or later, kuch to garbar hota hai. Like, because they're so excited, so then what happens, they'll run and they'll fall down, or, they'll hurt themselves, or something breaks, or who knows what, and then they start crying. So, same way, sometimes we get all excited, and then because you become a little less sensitive, that awareness becomes less. So then when Arjuna tells Krishna that, okay, take my chariot, put it in between both the armies, okay, let me see. So that means wo center mein aa gaya, no? So pehle to theek hai, hosh mein aake, okay, let's go to war, but then he said, okay, let me look at it from both sides, no? So he comes to the center, and then he realizes that, but there is no real way to win. I can only do so much. See, if I don't do anything, then also problem. But if I act also, this is a problem. Then I have to kill those who are my family, my gurus. So then he realizes that, I don't know what to do. He realizes his limitation, that either way I lose. And then he said, okay, and then he starts justifying. He said, no, but see, I cannot do this, that, and he gives some knowledge. Gets a little into depression. So then first, to get him out of that, Krishna pokes him. He says, oh, come on, hey, to get him out of that state. He is not all goody, yes, poor you, this, that. No, because that doesn't work. Once Gurudev said this very beautifully. He said, the challenge is that even though we want to help people who are depressed, who are not happy, or who have a problem, we want to help, but we don't know how to really help them. So then you going and sitting with them that, oh, poor you, yes, it's so unfair. Kyun aapke saath aise hua hai? No, God is so unfair, or life is so unfair, or really this should not have happened. Us saying that doesn't actually help that person. It makes it worse. Because you are reinforcing that victim consciousness where they say, oh, yes, really poor me. You're not helping them out of that. You're not helping them to see the bigger picture. So Krishna is not all goody. He said, hey, come on, take up. What you're saying is foolishness. No? You're not seeing you're talking like you're a big jnani, but actually what you're saying is not correct. And then, he gets him out of that state. And then when he comes out of that depression, that state, then he realized, oh, yes, what Krishna is saying is right. And he said, okay, then you please tell me, so that surrender starts happening. The moment he says, okay, yes, I realize I don't know everything. Okay, you please tell me. Krishna starts giving all that knowledge, and in that whole process, it's like one by one these layers get peeled off, where more and more he realizes, okay, who is Krishna really? And then at the very end, he says, okay, now I am ready to do whatever you say. He is fully surrendered. That is when Gita ends. So all that knowledge was required only to come to that point. Beyond that, then he said, then it's done. And this is the beauty. If you see all the practices we do, it's all to come to that point. Because once, and this is like little spiritual gossip, but once Gurudev said, someone had asked, he said, the last step before, whether you want to call it liberation, enlightenment, self-realization, he said that last bit is there is some fear that comes because that small identity, the ego, at the end that has to dissolve, it has to drop. That is the last step. So then for a moment, little bit that fear comes because it's limited. It's like that drop which is afraid to go into the ocean because then I'll disappear. It stops being a drop. So what will happen to me? So that limited identity for a moment, there's like some resistance is there. No, but what will happen to me? That small mind. And that is the last thing you have to cross. And that is why that love is so important, that devotion, bhakti, because that is when you say, okay, even though I don't know, because it's like unknown. But you say, okay, yes, I'm okay. I'm ready to dissolve. That is that, you can say, final bit of surrender. Yes, even if nothing of me remains, anyway, it's all you. And then the drop becomes one with the ocean, it becomes immortal. Then it doesn't dry up. If you try to just be your little drop, sooner or later, you're going to evaporate. Then again, of course, that's an indirect way. Again, you become water vapor and then it becomes rain. And then again, finally, you end up in the ocean. But it's a long route. And the beauty is that the more, like I said, the more we realize, you can say, our limitations, through knowledge, that surrender becomes more and more. Because many of our problems in life is because we're afraid to let go. Like if you see with seva, for example, some of us may be doing seva sometimes. You're involved in some service activities or you take up some project. Whether it is art of living, non-art of living, service is service. And whether it is organizing a course or a knowledge session or whatever it may be, doing some, providing some food to people who need it, ya jo bhi hai, or teaching. Usually what happens, we take up a project or a goal, and then there is a usual recipe our teachers organizes what you do. So you call people, whatever, 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people. And then you say, okay, everybody bring 2 new people for the next, whatever, knowledge session or course or something. And then you think, okay, 10 people, everybody brings 10 people. So I will have 100 participants. And then what happens, those people go back and pehle to josh mein aake ha bola, then they think, arey, how will I get 10 people? Because you start counting, okay, my family, your relatives, those few people that are close to you. But 2-3 साल से उनके पीछे पड़े, and you don't know, still अभी तक तो ज़्यादा result नहीं निकला. So you feel, arey, there is this 10 people that I know very well, okay, I'm going to talk to them, but already the tension is there. Or what if someone says no? Because then already ek kam ho gaya, now where will I get? And then slowly that burden is increasing of the result. How will we manage? And then what happens after 1 month of hard work, course is happening, and instead of 100 people, you have 23. So then what happens? Josh thoda kam ho jata, enthusiasm goes down a bit. And if that happens 2-3 times, then you will see that team that was there initially, like, it starts shrinking, and less people start coming. It's not that people don't want to do seva, but then it becomes so much of a burden. They feel uncomfortable. They feel oh, mujhse nahi hone wala hai. It's difficult for me. Maybe I'm not made for me. Other people can do, but no. Or this doesn't work, and then enthusiasm goes down. Why? Because our focus is on the result. Now in Bhagavad Gita also, what does Sri Krishna keep saying? You drop the fruit of the action. Karma ka phal chodo. Your right is to the action, not to the result. Again, this is surrender. Karma yoga is nothing but surrender. It's realizing that the result is really not in my hand. Because you would have noticed, no, sometimes with very little effort, you get very good results. Sometimes even without doing something specifically, something will fall into your lap. Yes or no? You get invited somewhere, or you get a gift, or things work out very nicely. You sit in a flight, you get upgraded to business class, whatever, so many things. And you didn't do anything for that. And sometimes you put so much of effort and the result is very, very less. Yes or no? Or nothing. So this is the truth. And this is not in our hands because there are so many factors. See, even if you look at Gurudev, this whole organization, so much of work, World Culture Festival in Delhi. And then even though it is not, normally it never rains that time of the year, suddenly it starts pouring. Then what do? Kya kare? You have heads of state from all over the world. You have 1 million, 2 million people standing there. And then what happens? It pours. And we were on the stage that time, top of the stage. And people were freaking out because we had like maybe almost 1,000 high-level dignitaries on the stage. But government had told us that, if that stage even starts shaking a little, from tomorrow, we will not allow you to have this event. Because that construction was something unique. It wasn't actually, it was, you may have heard, no? They had put plates on the floor, and on that they had built the whole stage. So they didn't actually drill things in the ground, or they didn't mess up the soil there, the ground. And because it was a very, it was on the riverbed. So they just it was a very unique style, but then they were not sure, is this going to hold? So police, everybody was watching. If this thing starts shaking, because they had so many high-level dignitaries, they're responsible, no? If some head of state comes falling down, for India is a disaster. But what happened when it started pouring, only the little central part of the stage was covered, where Gurudev and all were sitting, like as a special seating. Everything else was open air. It was not covered. So when it starts pouring, all these dignitaries will rush to the center part because nobody wants to get wet. And then they told us, no, you make sure people don't go to the center. Make them keep sitting where they are. How can you tell these people that you keep sitting getting soaked? Even if you tell them, if they don't listen, what will you do? Now we can say whatever we want, but this was not in our hands. It was not supposed to rain. It happened. Nobody saw it coming. So a wise person realizes that there are so many things which are not in my hands. But that doesn't mean it is all random. No, there is a higher power that is taking care. So then what happens? If you're smart, you listen to Krishna, like he said, your focus is on the action. So then when you do seva, what happens? Say for 1 month you work and you say, I wanted to get 10 people for the course. Maybe you only got one person, maybe you got nobody. Or maybe you got 20, you never know. But let's say you had nobody or 1 or 2 people. Then instead of feeling sad that, maybe I'm not suitable for this or it didn't work, and then your enthusiasm goes down, then what does Sri Krishna say? No, karma yoga is what? You focus on the action. So then you say, for the last 1 month, every day I took out some time, I spoke to people about this knowledge. I planted so many seeds. Now, one day they will sprout. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe after 1 month. I know some people, I told them about the course years ago. During this pandemic, suddenly they asked me, where can I do this thing you had mentioned? No, I'm so stressed. I need something. Sometimes people need to hear 2-3 times. Like now I'm here, there are 150 people. With all enthusiasm, I tell people, it would be so nice to help us in this seva, you can get one copy of my book. Maybe 5 people will decide to order it. Others think, okay, maybe later, or wo baad mein karte, then again you forget. And then after 1 month, maybe one of your friends will say, oh, did you read that book? It's very nice. They think, that time Swamiji also mentioned, okay, maybe I should check it out. Maybe after 3, 4, 5 times, you decide to pick it up. Now, if I feel said that, there are 150 people here, and then only 5 people bought the book, and then I say, okay, chhod do yaar, nahi hone wala hai. It's easy, no, you can give up. Anyway, I can keep taking advanced courses. 100, 200 people will come aram se. Why should I do this? No? Right? Very simple. That way, I have that privilege. So many people, they know me, they like me for some reason. So taking courses is not a big deal. People will come, But then when even Gurudev told me that, no, you should go, spread it. And then I realized, there must be something behind it. And then I started realizing now, I start getting some requests from some non-art of living places, whether it is some YPO thing or a Rotary Club or, some health coach on Instagram. They said, we heard about your book. We want to do a session with you. And then I realized that, suddenly this is giving me a platform to reach so many new people. So Gurudev ki to sankalpa hai that this is one more way we can bring so many people to the knowledge. But then I realized, I have to do my action. Because we don't know. And he has that bigger vision. Sometimes you think, arey nahi ho raha hai, but you never know. That day after he asked me that how is it going with the book. Next day, suddenly I got a call that a guy who knew a guy forwarded one message about my book. And it ended up with the person who is heading the biggest Hindi publishing house in India. And that guy called me personally and he said, I heard about your book. Itna acha hai. I want to publish it in Hindi. I said, very nice. Good. 2-3 minute conversation. He said, yeah, and I met your Guruji 20 years ago in Advani ji's house. We did a course. He did a course there. I met him, very nice person. So we would like to publish your book. I said, badhiya hai. So I said, so what do I need to do? No, you don't need to do anything because we are in touch with Penguin regularly for so many books. I'll tell my person. And the next day I got an email from Penguin that we have a very good news. These people have approached us with an offer to publish it in Hindi. So with your permission, we'll go ahead. I said, please. So like I said, some things you don't put any effort. मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया उसके लिए. Gurudev would have done some magic. But at the same time, I realized that I have to do my actions because if I had not sent that message to my friend, who sent it to a friend, to a friend, to a friend, it would not have happened. Same way I've seen with courses. Sometimes you put so much of effort, people may not show up, but we are putting those seeds. And where do you get that strength? That is surrender. Because okay, wo mera haath mein nahi hai, it's not in my hand. But the beauty is because it's not in your hand, so much more can happen than what you can do. Because if it is really in your hand, how much can you do? Even if every single day you go and talk to people, you can only reach so many people. Yes or no? But if that person decides to talk to a few more people, and then you can reach so many more people. In the same way, now we see in this pandemic, it has been a clear-cut reminder for people that, my dear, you are not in control. Whatever people used to rely on, or still rely on, for their peace of mind, their happiness, their sense of security, all those things outside of us started shaking. I have friends, they're also art of living teacher, such a successful restaurant in Pune. And they were going to expand to 2 more cities. Itna acha ho raha hai, since last few years. Suddenly they had to close down because government said lockdown. Restaurants and all closed. First few months they somehow survived. They managed. They had some saving. Uske baad they had to do something. So they started doing delivery whenever it was allowed. And then after second lockdown, they said, Abhi to Swamiji, we have to close down. That place that we were renting, it's too expensive. We cannot pay. Now they have to find something else. Kabhi nahi socha, it was growing so well. I know people, I was in South Africa, people who have been working for a company for last 20 years. And they were really good at what they do. But because of this whole lockdown, more than half the people had to be laid off. They also lost their job. Company also didn't want to, लेकिन क्या करे, अभी उपाय नहीं है, can't do anything. They would have never expected. So that brings so much of insecurity, no? You thought at least this job is there, I will keep doing that till I retire. Now what? People who always thought that I'm very healthy, I go to gym every day, nothing will happen. Suddenly they see one of their friends also got COVID and maybe felt very bad also. Suddenly so much insecurity comes. Oh, what if it happens to me? People who rely on their friends, their family, at least to blow off some steam or to chill out. Suddenly you cannot go out and meet people. You feel so lonely, so uncomfortable. Online kitna kar sakte? It's not the same. So all those things started shaking. People realized, Are yaar, I am so powerless. No, so many things we can't control. In one way, you can say this is like a gentle, or maybe not so gentle, reminder from the divine. Ki yaar, everything is changing. Because it is not like it never changed before. Pehle bhi hota tha. It's just that it was less. Now everything coming at the same time. When you say, oh, suddenly I've lost a family member, pehle bhi hota tha. Someone may suddenly get a heart attack, or they may have an accident, or they're just old, they pass away. Pehle bhi hote the. People pass away. That's how it is. That's how life is. One day you have to check out. When your time is come, when your work is done, you will go one way or the other. And that is okay also, because when work is done, why to stick around? But the point is, now we are reminded that this is the reality. Yes or no? And here you have two choices. Again, like Arjuna, you can get depressed, or you can realize, oh, Krishna is with me. So instead of getting depressed, then you surrender. You say, I don't know what to do. But I know that you know what is right, what is okay. You please guide me. And that gives you a lot of strength. I tell you, the more you start realizing, experiencing that really there is a higher power, God is there with me, Gurudev is there. And the more you're able to take that, they say leap of faith. Like thoda sa to you have to trust, because if you want everything to be spelled out, you want proof for everything, to nahi hoga. Sometimes people say, how do I know Gurudev really knows me? A little bit, we have somewhere you have to take that leap of faith. Because even if you ask him, he will not spell it out, because that's not how it works. Then it's not faith. Then it's just pramana. It's just proof. So, and small steps. Where you say, okay, I'm going to stop worrying about this. Okay, let it. Okay. I know you're taking care, you take care. You don't have to give everything up right away. Start small things. I tell you, the more, and then you realize, oh, it's working out. Someone is taking care, something is taking care. And then more and more, it's like inside something starts relaxing. First, it was very, you're trying to control, but then you're able to relax more and more. And then you come to a point where you are able to see that every experience in your life is a prasad. This is the most beautiful thing, where you are able to see that really, and we have heard this so many times, that Gurudev says, whatever is best will come to you. And whatever has to come to you will come to you one way or the other, whether you like it or not. If you are supposed to get 1 lakh rupees, it will come somewhere, even if you don't leave your house. Now you didn't know, so don't go and sit and wait for 1 lakh rupees to come. No, you have to work. But if it comes, it will come from somewhere. You have seen this, sometimes without much effort, suddenly you get a lot of extra income. Kahin na kahin se aa jata. And sometimes also so much of expense suddenly happens without any plan or unnecessarily. So when you realize that, oh yes, I'm on this journey, and it's a beautiful journey. It's a leela. Remember that. It's not a drama. It's a leela. It means it's a play. So you're on this journey. Your soul had made this to-do list before coming. भगवान के पास जाके कि इस बार हमको ये खत्म करना है. या ये अनुभव करना, this I want to experience for my growth. See, your consciousness is untouched, चेतना को कुछ नहीं होता. So you say, yes, I would like to experience these things. Say, okay, we'll find you a nice, right place, right family, place, time, everything to have that experience, and you take birth. Then you come, you go through all that experiences, and when it is done, आत्मा तृप्त हो गया तो निकल जाता. Okay, now next adventure. Now you may not remember what all you opted for, but if you understand that, okay, it is because of these karmas that these experiences are coming, then on one level you can actually appreciate it. You would have noticed, no? I mean, this is a little subtle. You cannot tell people just over the dining table, but at least with you I can share. Some people, whatever you do, they keep having some or the other health problem. You see, even in our ashram, in Art of Living, some of our most senior teachers who are so devoted, I'll not take names, but so devoted, have been doing their sadhana, seva, satsang, everything so religiously for decades, may still be struggling with some health problems they've had all this time. Not that they're not okay with it, they may have found peace with that fact, but abhi bhi hai. And it's an issue, sometimes it's uncomfortable. And then at the same time, you see people, वो एक ही सत्संग में आके या एक कोर्स करके एक बार सुदर्शन क्रिया करके उनका सब कुछ ठीक हो जाता है. सुना होगा ना? Some people really, they may have even had cancer, they do one course and it gets okay. Or they meet Gurudev, get a blessing, someone who lost their hearing gets it back, all kinds of things. So somewhere it may shake you, you feel, yaar, since so many decades I've been doing my sadhana every day religiously and abhi tak mera theek nahi hua hai aur ye band hai aise aake, like what is this? But then Gurudev also, he once said, some karmas Guru will take or your sadhana will burn, but there are certain karmas also which you have come specifically to experience, and this is how you are growing, that is needed for you. So then if you would take that, it means you have to take another birth to finish that off. So why will he take? He is very efficient. He said, let's finish it off right now. Abhi karte. Why postpone? So that is, and you find some people, whatever you do, they always have some problem with money. They may have shortage of money. Have you noticed? Some people, even you say, okay, they may be struggling, they have a debt or they are poor or this or that. You give them also a lot of money. After a few months, again, same problem. So if they have come to have that experience, whatever you do, they will get that experience. Now, that doesn't mean you don't help people, that you say, oh, someone is suffering, that is their karma. Yes, that is their karma, but it is our dharma to help them. This you have to remember. Gurudev can also say, whole world is in a mess. That is karma. That is very true. It is world's karma. But then it is our dharma to help them, jitna ho sake. But when you realize that yes, whatever experience comes to me has come to me because this is what is best for me right now. Best, that doesn't mean nicest or most pleasant, but it means what is best. Like sometimes mother can be strict, no? Acha, can I take 5 minutes extra? I know this was till 9:30. 5 minutes or le sakte hain. It's interesting, no or no? So sometimes mother can be strict. No, if the child again and again wants to put a hand in the fire, mother will give a whack also sometimes. Ki band kar. Not because inside she is angry or that she wants the child to suffer. No, because she doesn't want it to suffer. She knows if you keep doing that, it will be a bigger problem. And sometimes mother will give some sweet. No, okay, you have cleaned your room nicely or you finished your whole meal. Chalo, theek hai. Get one chocolate. So both ways we learn. No? Same way, if you look at Jyotish, no, the astrology, Vedic astrology, some planets have a very good reputation. Everybody likes them. Guru is very nice. This, that. And some planets have a very bad reputation. Shani, Rahu, Pucho mat. No? I mean, people do a lot of puja, but because they're afraid, no? सारे साथी तो मतलब मेरे सब कुछ पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है. I get so many messages. स्वामी जी मेरे सारे साथी चल रहे हैं, कुछ तो कीजिए, सब कुछ बिगड़ गए. No? So Saturn, Shani, nobody likes. Why? Because they say some planets are Saumya, some are Krura. Saumya means they're very pleasant, which means they take your karmas, they teach you in a very sweet way, like giving you chocolate. That is how they put you on the right track. And some planets, they teach you with a stick. They take your karmas, but it is in a harsh way. But the beauty is, if you study Jyotisha, they say the Navagraha are an avatar of Lord Vishnu, Narayana. Narayana himself took the form of the 9 planets to uphold dharma. What we see, Krishna also was a Purna avatar of Narayana. He came to uphold dharma. Same way the Navagraha are upholding dharma. How? By giving you the karma phal. That is how they sustain dharma. By giving you bad results when you do something bad, and giving you good results when you do something good. Very skillful. Like a mother. That is how they uphold dharma. Which means any experience you go through, whether it is krura or saumya, whether it is pleasant or sometimes unpleasant, it is nothing but that one divinity that is leading you towards your goal. समझ में आ रहा है ना? And when this really clicks, you start reminding yourself, whenever you go through some experience, that behind it, there is only that one hand. Then what happens? Slowly, or sometimes very quickly, you will start seeing that your life as, like I said, as a prasad. That whatever comes to you is because that is what is best for you right now. And I tell you, the moment you can start seeing that even if someone comes and shouts at you, you say, oh, this is Krishna's prasad for me, or Gurudev's prasad for me. Then it is impossible for you to become miserable. Even if you get sick, okay, this is also prasad. That is surrender. When you say it is all you, that is surrender. And then there is no possibility of you becoming miserable. Even if you have to die, we all have to die one day. But if you can leave the body also with this feeling that, oh, this is a prasad, how can you not reach the divine? I tell you, something happens, you hit your foot, you say, oh, this is a prasad, how can you be miserable? You lose your job, you feel it's a prasad, how can you not rejoice? There is this one small story, I think in 2 minutes I can cover it. Some of you may have heard, have you heard that story of that Arjuna and Krishna went for a walk, and then he blessed that Brahmin that his cow will die? Okay, I'll normally I narrate it very nicely, elaborately, but because we have less time, I'll do it short. So in short, so you can add the nice details later. In short, what happened? Krishna and Arjuna went for a walk. After a long walk, strolling through the forest and all, Krishna got thirsty. He said, Arjuna, I feel thirsty. Let's see if we can find one place to drink something. After some time, there was a village, huge house, mansion, rich person. So Arjuna thought this is a nice place. Kuch to milega. He went, knocked on the door. First, nobody opened. Finally, that person opened. He said, can you please give us something to drink? No, we are very thirsty. Sri Krishna is also with me. Must have heard of him. Influencer. Very famous celebrity. And then that person was, no, get lost. And he bangs the door. Arjuna was like, yaar, kya kanjus aadmi hai. Such a selfish person. But then he went back, and then when he told Krishna, he said, okay, no problem. And Krishna blessed him that may his wealth increase manifold. Now Arjuna is like, ye kya aadmi yaar. I know Krishna is very compassionate, but why? What is the need to bless this person? He was already so selfish, so arrogant. And then little later, there's this small jopri, that small hut, and one old Brahmin is there. And when he sees them, he comes, he's rushing, and he said, oh, please come. No, you are my guest. Please allow me to serve you. And they say he was super poor. One of those Brahmins, it's a saying in the scriptures, who lived just by picking up the grains of rice that are left after they have harvested. Like some grains will fall on the floor, on the ground. So he used to pick those and live from that. So super poor. but so much of devotion, so much of love. And he said, okay, please allow me to, how can I don't have much, but I can give you a glass of milk. And I said, yes, please, that'll be very nice. So he had one cow, so he milked that cow and he got the milk and he served it to Krishna and Arjuna. And then when they left from there, Arjuna saw that Krishna blessed him, saying that may your one cow also die. He was like, "Are ye to galat hai yaar. This is wrong." So then he told Krishna, he said, Krishna, I didn't get why you blessed that rich guy to get even more rich. Okay, that's your choice, but how can you? This is not a blessing, it's like a curse. This person has nothing except for that one cow, and you bless him saying, may that one cow also die. He said, this is unjust, this is not right. He really didn't understand. And with a lot of compassion, Krishna looked at him and he said, this person already, he is so pure, he's so devoted to me. But the only thing is that he got attached to that cow. He said, when that cow will die, then he will be mine fully. Tab pura mera ho jayega. So he said, already he's so devoted, but there is this one attachment that is still holding him back, that is not allowing him to fully come to me, to be fully surrendered to me. So when that cow dies, he'll be free. He will be mine. He will be with me fully. That person will be fully surrendered. He said that other person already, he is so caught up in this Maya, his wealth increases means it will take another 1 or 2 lifetimes for him to come to me. So it's actually not a blessing. So it's a different perspective. You see, on one hand, yes, this whole pandemic is so terrible. At the same time, it was so much needed. It still is, for people to wake up, because you can spend your whole life doing all of those things we were doing, but you may not really progress. We were all so busy running, doing so many things. Now people are doing much more seva, many people. People are spending much more time in knowledge sessions. Yes or no? You're coming here every day maybe, or every few days. Pehle shayad itna nahi hota tha. Yes or no? So this is a blessing. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Narayana very clearly says at some point that to my devotees, I give problems. Because the more problems people have, the more they will remember me. So it's a blessing. It's a prasad. It's true. When everything is going fine, who wants to do any meditation, or who will remember the Guru, or who will remember God? When people have a problem, suddenly they'll go to temple. Please. बेटी का शादी हो जाए, एग्जाम पास हो जाए, नया जॉब मिले, जो भी, please, I want to get my daughter married, or I need a new job, or get a promotion, or become healthy. That is when people remember God. But a wise person, they don't need that to remember God. If you anyway remember, then he doesn't have to give you problems. That is the beauty. If there was some karma left, it will come. But even then, like I said, you take it as a prasad, nothing can shake you. So doing the action without worrying about the result. So I'll just quickly check the chat. Please go on. Very nice prasad. Please send me link to order the book. I had posted already. Okay, I'll post again. So our time is up. I know time flies, but it was nice, no? Acha tha. First, I was thinking, what am I going to say about Samarpan? We can cover one part of Bhagavad Gita, going verse by verse. But then I thought, no, it's nice to share some of these stories, experiences, because then you can relate, no? It starts, you say, oh yes, this is how I can apply it in my life. It's Sunday, we can stay for some more time. No, but I have other sessions. I have to go for some recording also. And then I have a few meetings as well. Usually weekends for us is more busy. But but we can keep meeting, let's see, we will find out, we'll find some excuses. And of course, anyway, like if you have time, you can always come for a course. Like every once in a while, I conduct advanced courses, other programs, knowledge sessions. I have some videos on my YouTube channel, you can check it out. So with the chanting, if you like. But I know time flies when you're having fun. But this is one nice exercise you can do. That maybe today we can do that as a homework. When whatever experiences come, see if you can take it as a prasad. Whatever, it may be very nice, it may be a little unpleasant, but if you can take it as a prasad, just remind yourself, this is also prasad. And see what happens to your mind. Okay? And like I said, one small help, if people would like to do, it would be lovely. You can share about the book to your near and dear ones. Actually, what I'll do, because one or two people also, they're asking me, I'll share, just for those who are really enthusiastic, I'll share one link in the chat. I made one WhatsApp group for some people where I had shared a few nice pictures of the book, things like that. If you would like, to circulate, or you can join. You don't have to, but those who want. I don't want to spam people here. But this would be a great service. You can help, or you can give the book to some people, near and dear ones, or stubborn ones who still haven't done the course. And
thank you so much, Swamiji. Thank you so much. I'm sure everybody is inspired to get the book and read more experiences that you had on this journey. And to do the advanced course with Swamiji and the online meditation and breath workshop, we have a tiny link. Jayesh will just share that. So you can register. Swamiji's course is starting on the 13th of August. So you can just find the link to register for that course. Yahan pe link mentioned there.
Yeah, service. And you want that, I've not announced it yet, but for those who are keen, I will also do a silence course for Janmashtami.
Oh, wow.
But that we'll announce after this one.
Yes. So Janmashtami course will start on 27th, I believe, right?
Yeah. But Jyotiji, you have these sessions every day, right?
We have it once in a while. So this month we are having one celebrating Krishna theme.
Yes,
we'd love to have you. Yeah, but we have once in a while. So today, of course, we had it with you. Tomorrow evening we are having with Kashi Bhaiya on Bhakti Yoga.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
So it's like every few days there are sessions.
Yeah, every few days. Yeah. Then on 15th, I think, Jayesh, we are having with Rishi Nitya Pragya in the evening about Dharma Yoga.
Very nice.
And then
so people can keep inviting also more people to join, no? You can all bring your near and dear ones to come for these sessions.
So yes. So amazing, no? To hear Swamiji, and then we have chance to hear another group of teachers, who will guide us more on the subject
all
of
our
Bhagavad
stars.
Gita. Yeah, thank you so much, Swamiji, for your precious time, and we had a great session. Now, so many confusion people had about being weak and being punished. Why should we surrender? I think everything got solved. And a lot of us got so much clarity. Thank you, Swamiji, once again. We'd love to have you again with some more time.
Yes, we'll do. और क्षमा कीजिए, पूरा तो हिंदी में नहीं बोल पाया, लेकिन वही समय कम है तो. No?
एक बार हम हिंदी में करेंगे, स्वामी जी. Many people are requesting. Yes, we'll do that. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, Swami ji, and we'll see you today evening for satsang 6 to 7 with Yash Chapra. Okay, any more information we'll share on the chat box. Thank you, Swami ji. Jai Gurudev.
And lots of love and blessings to each one of you. Today is a very auspicious day also, so it's a wonderful day to start something new.
Oh wow, thank you, Swamiji. Thank you for sharing that with us. So once again, everybody stay back, and we have a small Hanuma's book question session for all of you. Those who want to win the book of Hanuma, Gurudev Plateau on the Peak. You'll have to send your answers to Jayesh. The questions are about what Swamiji just shared. So what was the purpose of Krishna blessing the Brahmin in that way? Okay, jo ek cow hai wo bhi mar jaye. What was the purpose of that story? If you can just type to Jayesh, and then Jayesh can declare the winner. It's a beautiful story, no? So once Jayesh picks the winner, they can share their address and the book will reach them. So Jayesh, have you got any answer?
I think Vandana Jha. Vandana Ja, are you?
So Vandana ji, share. Of course, we all know the answer, right? So Vandana ji can share the address with Jayesh, and he will share the send the book to you. And the another question, okay, about what Swamiji shared. What is the name of Swamiji's book? This is very easy. So fastest finger first होगा इसमें. Jayesh को भेजना है.
Okay.
Jayesh, how many
I
answers?
think Sanket ji has shared it first.
Okay,
so
Sanket
let's
ji, please, Sanket ji, please share your address also with Jayesh.
Yes.
And
we
I
got to
think the
share his
final,
addresses.
yeah, and the final question. Jayesh, you want to ask a question?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so final question is, Swamiji mentioned 2 grahas that are not so pleasant, but they teach us. You know, everything is a prasad. All navgrahas are, he said, the avatars of Vishnu and giving us prasad. 2 grah बताए जो हमें लकड़ी से सिखाते हैं. Which are these 2 grahas? Come on, type to Jayesh. Come on, type to Jayesh.
Aditi.
Aditi and
Parul Wag.
अच्छा, so Parul ji, Aditi, अपनी Aditi.
Yes.
So okay.